Global Inclusion Project #GIVIB 2020. This interview is with Mina Lamarra.
Mina Lamarra, I'm 12 years old and I'm in middle school. Some changes I'd like to see in the blind community is I'd like to see more websites being accessible for the blind using JAWS or VoiceOver. I'd also like to see more rights for some kids in underprivileged districts and communities, and maybe more programs to teach technology to kids and adults who've lost their sight.
Advice on socialization.
I think actually the social aspect of being blind in school mostly, or trying to make friends or people who can help you out, is more difficult than the academic things, because you can figure out the academic things, and then once you figure it out once, you figured it out pretty much forever. And so I figured that's harder than the social things, because not everybody's the same, and sometimes sighted kids, they don't want to be mean or rude, but they really don't know, and they're scared. And so they won't talk to you, or they'll ignore you. Or some kids that just don't know what to do or insecure will even make fun of you or pick on you. And I mean, my advice to you is just get out there and say what you gotta say and try to make friends and be friendly and out there. And I know it's sometimes hard to say things, but I didn't really want to say things, and so I didn't have friends. So I learned to talk, and I started making more and started inviting my friends and like talking to them and asking if I could sit with them. And I'm still shy, but I've been learning to do that, and I've made more friends. So my advice to people who are blind or anywhere, I guess, that just go, because the worst thing they could say is no. And if they do say no, they're missing out.
To use or not to use your cane.
Okay, if you don't want to use your cane, be ready to eat several poles. You will. Canes, think of it as your eyeball. That little ball in the end is your eye. The rest of it is your Daniels of Zen or whatever they're called, and your optic nerve and blah blah. And what you're holding in your hand is pure gold. Until you get a guide dog or if you want to, that's going to be your metal, your amazing tool, an electrician's wire splitter, whatever they use, a contractor's wrench. It helps you with everything you do. It's not only a guide for you so you don't trip and fall. It'll help you cross streets. It'll help identify you. And when you're at an amusement park, if you sit in your cane, you might get on a ride for free, so bring that. And not only will it help you guide, it will, you can use it and you can cross streets on your own. You can feel independent. And feeling independent, I've got to tell you, is maybe one of the best feelings in the world. Imagine not having someone guide you. And right now, you may be thinking, if you're blind or visually impaired, I can see enough to walk. I don't need one. But if your vision is degenerative, eventually that's not going to happen. And I know it's hard, but you're going to sometimes have trouble seeing. And you're going to need something to help you. And you're going to have to learn. And sometimes you just have to go and use that cane. Even if it's hard, or even if it feels like you're using something and it's so heavy in your hand because it just makes another barrier between you and the way everybody else is, it makes you even more like them. It makes you even more able to do things like they can. Everyone with a disability, autism, blindness, deafblind, deaf, anything. We all can do pretty much anything everybody else can. We just do it in a different way. And if we have to adapt it, so what? We're still doing it, and I think that's pretty cool.
What would you say are some common misconceptions about those who are visually impaired and blind?
Okay, there's a lot of them. And if I talked about all of them, we would literally be here all day long. We are people. We are people just like you. We breathe, talks, we have skin, hearts, and ears, eyes that maybe don't work very well, but we have them, most likely. Or we have something in our heads that resembles the shape of an eye. We have feelings, and most of us are normal if you just talk to us. We're not dumb. We have sadness. We feel hurt when you ignore us or when you're mean to us. So we are just people trying to live a normal life like everybody else.
What would you like to be when you grow up?
I most likely want to be a disability rights lawyer. I want to advocate for people who need their rights as people. We all have the same amount of rights, no matter if we have a disability or not. And I think we should all have the technology and help we need. And I want to help people advocate for themselves and learn to do things the way they need to learn how to. That way they can feel like they're included in society and they can keep going along the train of society and follow that train and whatever they want to do. And I want to help them make websites accessible so they can do their job. I want to help them convince companies to do what they need to do to be able to live on their own and pay rent. I want to be able to help people like me so that they can be as fortunate as I was to have VI teachers and the technology I needed, the assistive technology and training I had.
Do you have any last thoughts you'd like to add?
One more thing. Like I said before, we're people and we have feelings, and if you see someone or you live or you go to a school or on a campus with someone who's blind, try saying hi to them because they might be pretty cool.
Thank you for watching, and a big thank you to Mina Lamarra, Parissa Lamarra, David Martinez, DeAndre Gilberry, and Kari Scott. For more information on the Global Inclusion Project, you can visit our website at globalinclusionproject.org, and on Instagram, follow us at Global Inclusion Project. Below, you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you again.